Hi, how's everyone out there doing this lovely morning? I am super excited to be here with the marvelous Mel Kelly, author of these two fabulous books. And it is top tips on dating disasters that inspired this show because I was like, Mel, dating disasters not limited to just you or Ireland or Germany, international phenomenon. Welcome the amazing Mel Kelly.
Thank you so much, Amy. It's a pleasure to be here with the amazing Amy Hamilton, the amazing author of two amazing books, The Project Manager and The Consummate Communicator. So here we are today to bring you some more disastrous dating tips. We're looking forward to this show.
And Mel, just a reminder, it's your first time not talking to Dr. Amy.
No, Dr. Amy, sorry.
Yes, we definitely got to add that.
Yeah, you spent long enough working on it. Jesus, you deserve it this day.
I know, right? I mean, long, many years of knowing you. Like I started working on when I was still in Germany.
15 years you've been working on your PhD, was it?
It was 5.5 on the actual PhD. But if you count like all the education, if you count kindergarten, all your primary school that leads up to it, it's pretty much your whole life, right?
Well done. You made it. Congratulations.
Great topic we're going to talk about today. And the topic that we're going to talk about today, I think, is an international phenomenon. And I've heard this from so many people in many lands around the world is why is it that women have like 100 shoes to like every one pair of shoes that a man has?
Well, it sounds like a cliche, but it seems to be from your very thorough research. And now that you're a doctor, your research is always very thorough. Is that, yeah, it seems to be that men seem to have not as many pairs of shoes as women. Exactly. So the question would be the other way around. Why do women have so many pairs of shoes? Why do you need them? I mean, we have, from a man's point of view, you have maybe one to go to work, maybe a second one to go to work, one for sports. And really, maybe one, that's about it, really. But what would you need more shoes for? So,
well, Amy, you need flip-flops for the beach.
Flip-flops, okay, maybe, yeah. Flip-flops for the beach, okay. What else?
So, as a woman, like I feel like as and a shoe aficionado, as stated on my website, is okay. I think shoes are like part of like how you culturally express your soul. And so I think that we see shoes as a very different thing. Like we don't see it as
your foot sole, the sole of your foot, you mean?
Yes, like literally your soul and your soul, yeah. Right? Your soul
is
the way to share your soul.
How does a shoe express your soul? I mean, this is just such marketing nonsense.
Mal, you might want to be culturally sensitive.
Well, expressing your soul through shoes. Come on, what is this?
Well, I do think that there's an important
What marketing catalog have you swallowed hook, line, and sinker? Expressing your soul through shoes. What's the name of those expensive shoes that you have for 400 euros?
When I have like amazing shoes on, like it definitely helps me to feel better and brighter. And I have
because you deserve it. Because you're worth it. You're worth it.
Well, no, I have a saying on my. No. This is an important concept, though, Mal. Is I have a saying on my wall, and it says, never underestimate the power of a great outfit on a bad day. And so sometimes when you get up in the morning and you're not looking forward to work, especially for people who have to go into the office, you're just like dreading it. You're just like, oh my gosh, I do not want to go in there. And then, like suddenly I see like one of my favorite pair of like Jimmy Choos or something. And I'm like,
Jimmy Choos.
Oh, yes. Well, you know what? I really can't just like wear these Jimmy Choos around the house. So like, it's kind of like a little bit weird. Sometimes I do, sometimes I like pet them, and, but like that's probably not something you should admit if you're on a dating show and would actually like to ever date again. Right. But, yeah, so I have a lot of shoes, and my thought on it is that, when I wear these shoes and I'm out in the world, it makes me happy and it brings me joy. And joy cannot be underrated.
I find it absolutely fantastic that you found a way to bring joy into your life. However, at what price? And I would also say, why does it have to be a €400 pair, $400 pair of shoes that actually brings you the joy? I mean, you're a marketer. You're the fashion industry's darling. You're the one that has bought the whole marketing propaganda hook, line, and sinker. You can't just you get a face cream, the cheapest face cream from the local pharmacy or druggery or whatever. You have to get the one that's $50 or $100 or $200. It's like you have to have the most expensive one. It's like the hand cream has to be the most expensive because you're worth it. And you are
Well,
working. And
I
you
don't think it's
deserve it.
necessarily that, Mel. I think that you're putting a lot of commercialism on it. I think that
Well,
like you just have to find what works for you because like some of my favorite shoes are like not that expensive. And then some are more expensive, but I mean I think it's the spectrum. And then from a sports view, like we're gonna go there now, is the best advice I ever got for sports injury came from my high school cross country coach, and he said get two pair of shoes from completely different brands and
Hmm.
alternate the days so that way if you're inclined towards like micro injuries from running the same way, like it's actually less likely to get things like stress fractures. And
Okay.
I've never actually done a scientific study or read this, but what I will say is this is an N of one that I listen to that coach, and I do have like a couple different pair of running shoes, and I make sure I always alternate them. And part of the theory behind that too is that if you wear the same shoes every day, that the cushioning gets impacted. So it gives
Yeah,
it like a day to like heal. So that's important. You
which
should
is
always have two
absolutely,
pairs
yeah,
of sports shoes.
that's absolutely fine. Sports shoes.
No, there's
Functional,
science.
there's functional. It's very scientific. Obviously, the way you've described is very scientific. I'm very impressed, Dr. Amy. I hope you I hope you explained your research and hypothesis a bit better in your doctorate. But the point being is that's all functional. But when it comes to Jimmy Choo for €400 or another pair of shoes for $50, I mean, the joy. Why can't you get the joy from cheaper shoes? Or why does it have to be like if a burglar was coming into your house, right? They wouldn't need to be looking either for the computer or for the money. Just go to the shoe closet, and the most if they could steal your 100 or 500 pairs of shoes, they would make a fortune.
Well, that's the
So
thing though, is shoes don't really have a good resale value, so they'd probably just be really super disappointed. I think handbags
yes,
have better resale value than shoes.
okay. Oh, don't get me started on handbags. I mean, handbags. Why? Like
You have to think about
this.
handbags now too.
I don't have a problem with handbags. I have a problem with these, let's call them stupidly expensive handbags. And yeah, handbags that cost $400, $500, $600. I think, my goodness. I mean, this is the people who buy these products have just bought the whole marketing thing, hook, line, and sinker. Like
So
you
where would
are
you?
what you
Are
have.
you
You
saying?
are what you carry. You are what you are. You deserve it. You feel it. And
But Mel, does this bother you then that you feel that if you met a woman and she had like a lot of expensive shoes or handbags, do you feel then that your soul doesn't resonate with her because you feel like she's too materialistic, or what is your concern? Or is it just
no.
that like her shoes and handbags would take over the entire closet if you ever moved in together? Because I mean that's a legit concern.
Well, I suppose the practicality. I have no problem with any woman who wants to wear and all those type of things if that's what she's into. If she can fund that herself and finance that herself, and that's what she chooses to spend her money on, I think that's fantastic. I would have a problem if she had the expectation that I should fund that. And I suppose the second part would be in terms of space. So if you have a shoe closet or shoe wardrobe or whatever, I still have to have space for my 5 items of shoe wear, even if she has her 500 pairs of shoe wear or whatever. So I would
When
need to
I was
have it.
in
Once I have my
Germany, when you and
space,
I met the first time, I actually
right,
had a shoe room. Like I did, like a legit shoe room.
a shoe room. How many
Well,
pairs of shoes
because
did you have in Germany? I mean,
well,
my
the
goodness,
problem is the Germans don't have closets, so that was like kind of the thing.
how many pairs of shoes did you have that you needed a shoe room? And you
A
were on
hundred.
holidays anyway in Germany, and you had how many pairs of shoes?
I worked in Germany.
Oh, yeah, it's holidays. We all know that. Yeah, it's holidays. You were on holidays in Germany, so and you had how many pairs of shoes?
I don't know, a few hundred. I've cut down since then. I've been much better.
You came to Germany to work, and you brought over 100 pairs of shoes with you.
Well, I bought a lot when I was there, especially like in like Milan and Paris, and
So when
there were
people
some
have
really
moving
beautiful
costs and
shoes.
they're moving furniture, moving beds, moving this, moving that, your biggest moving cost would be moving the shoes, probably.
It could have been. I mean, that was a legit concern. And that, and then like in my office, like at any given time, in almost any office I've worked in, like underneath my desk is probably like, I don't know, 10 to 15 pair of shoes, easy.
And they're all wondering where the smell comes from.
They don't smell. It's not like you wear them
Oh,
that much.
the-
I mean, they were just there and look pretty. And then you get those little cedar implants that go into them. Yeah, they smell like cedar. They smell amazing. And cedar helps to keep moths away.
Okay, my goodness. So you had more than 100 pairs of shoes when you were here in Germany on a work holiday.
And I lived there for like years.
Okay. And so you accumulated anyway. So and what about you then? You meet a guy and he's only got 2 pairs of shoes. What would you say?
Well, Mal, I think that's a really, really great question and ties in so well to our next episode of what happens when you meet a guy and he's a fixer-upper. And this is related to a chapter in your book called The Catwalk. And so next week, we're going to be talking what happens when you meet that guy and he's only got 2 pairs of shoes. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you. Look forward to see you all next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.